Hi guys, so I think you will have already seen a little vlog like cooking thing that I've done on making some cinnamon rolls, which are behind me over here. So if you haven't watched that already, please go and give that a little watch. I'll link it up here and down below. I'm in the same outfit because it is the same day. I have decided I'm going to do another cooking video. I love cooking. It's one of my passions in life, so I want to integrate it more into my channel, which I did say last time I did a cooking video. So I did a video showing you some weeknight meals that me and Bradley have throughout the week, of things that we enjoy cooking. So I'm going to do another one of those, just show you a few meals that we're eating. I'm not going to do like the whole week or like 5 to 7 meals because the video will be so long. We all know that I like to talk, but I'm going to show you what we're having like tonight, tomorrow, and maybe on Tuesday as well. Do like 3 recipes again like in the video. So tonight we're actually having cottage pie. It's Sunday, so having like we always do kind of like a Sunday dinner kind of meal. I know like a cottage pie isn't necessarily Sunday dinner, but something like gravy or whatever. We wouldn't necessarily have like pasta on a Sunday. It's currently 6:20. We normally eat early on a Sunday, but since we've been in lockdown, isolation, whatever it is, we've kind of eaten a little bit later for some bizarre reason on a Sunday. So gonna be making cottage pie today. Thought I'd show you how we make it. And I just want to get those videos out there for you at the moment because I feel like everyone's at home. I love watching cooking videos and giving you guys ideas. I know at the moment it is hard to get your hands on some food. For us, like in the past week, the supermarkets have actually been so much better than they were like a week ago. Or like 2 weeks ago. They've been like amazing. We've been able to get quite a lot of stuff, but there will still be stuff that people can't get. So in this recipe we are using stuff just like that's inside our cupboards. If you can't get it, I'll mention stuff that you can substitute for something else, and you don't have to include certain things. Obviously you need the main ingredients, which is potatoes and mince, whether that's like corn mince or whatever. We're using beef mince. Anyway, I'm gonna get on with it and show you. So you guys know that we love Gusto. This, I haven't got the ingredients from Gusto. This is just a recipe from Gusto that we absolutely love. We love this cottage pie. So this is the one that we're going to be using recipe wise. So I've got all of the ingredients over here. Again, like for us, it's just we do have stuff in the cupboards. I know maybe, I guess a lot of people are not at uni right now, but I know that some people don't have as much in the cupboards. Like if you do share a house, etc., it's harder to have things in the cupboards and whatever. But this is the stuff that we have. I'm going to mention stuff that you can use instead. So we've got carrot. Obviously you don't have to put like carrot and onion in if you don't want to. Like if you've got people that are really fussy eaters, etc. But we've got 1 carrot and we've got frozen red onion. This is sliced. It does need to be diced. What I will do is start to cook this. Once it thaws, I will almost like chop it with a spatula once it's in the pan. You can use normal onion, you can use shallots, whatever you fancy, whatever you can get your hands on at the moment. Got garlic. Obviously we do have this in the jar. We also do have garlic that you can chop up. This is just so much easier. You can also get garlic in a paste, etc. Marmite. This is the secret ingredient to the cottage pie that makes it incredible. I hate Marmite normally, but this honestly makes it taste so good. If you don't have Marmite in your cupboard, if you're a hater like me and don't normally have it, then maybe use Worcestershire sauce. If you don't have any of that, no worries at all. You don't need it, but Worcestershire sauce or Marmite works really well. Tomato puree. Kind of do need this. You could use like a chopped tomatoes instead of using like all of this. Like instead we've got a tomato puree and a beef stock cube. 400 grams of potatoes. Here's our bag of potatoes, but we need 400 grams. I've weighed those out. Then we need 250 grams of mince. We're using half of this. Then tomorrow night in this video we're going to be using the other half of the mince. It goes out of date tomorrow, the 30th of March. And then we have got some broccoli as well to have on the side and cheese for on top. So the first thing I'm doing is just peeling the potatoes. I absolutely hate this job. I really do not enjoy it. Now the potatoes have been peeled, I'm just going to chop them into little chunks. This is so that they cook quicker in the pan and they don't take quite so long, because well, I guess you don't really have to do this if you've got loads of time. For the next step, I've got to peel the carrot, and then if you have any onions that need cutting, obviously mine are already like frozen, so they're already sliced, but you would peel your onion, and not peel your onion, but you know what I mean, like chop your onion. And then also if you don't have pre-chopped garlic, you would chop your garlic now as well. So I'm going to top and tail the carrot, and then I'm going to cut it into quite small chunks because I cannot stand massive bits of like veg in a like spaghetti bolognese or like in a cottage pie or anything like that. So if I cut this, actually, if I cut it into 3, and then I will just cut it into little chunks. This is going to be quite a lot of carrot actually, because this is a massive carrot. So we've now just got the carrot in here. We're just adding the onion. I've got my glamorous assistant Bradley to assist, as an assistant does. Oh my god.
Oh, I'm trying to make sure my arm isn't in the
It's fine, your arm can be in there. Right, so you needed 1 onion's worth. That's probably about 1 onion.
Do you reckon?
That's like that now. We need to cut the onion a bit smaller once it has defrosted. And we're just going to add in 2 teaspoons of this garlic. I go with the fact that 1 teaspoon is 1 clove of garlic, and this recipe needs 2 cloves. We're going to add in 2 cloves of this garlic, and then we will do the stock in a second. So the carrot, onion and garlic is just cooking away. I'm just going to add the stock cube in here, along with, it's supposed to be 16 grams of tomato puree, which you do get in a sachet if you order Gusto. We've just got a tube. I'm just going to estimate, to be honest. I'd go with that being about 1 tablespoon, 16 grams. And then we're going to put in 250 ml of boiling water from the kettle.
I wouldn't be
just
about it.
Into the stock we need to put in the Marmite, which is 8 grams, so I'd go with that is a teaspoon.
Probably less than a teaspoon, but to be honest, it makes it taste nice. So.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. I cannot open this Marmite, so Bradley's going to have to open it for me.
You should also use HP sauce.
No, but it's either or. Oh yeah, if you haven't got Worcestershire sauce or Marmite, then you can, oh you can't even open it, then you can use HP sauce as well. That's just to show you, we've just added in half of the beef mince. So we've actually got 12% fat, because we couldn't get 5% fat, that's the one we would normally use, but we couldn't get that at the supermarket. Obviously supplies are in demand. So we have just got half of that from the pack. Frying that off now. The mince is now browned off, and as you can see, Bradley is very well chopped the onions up. So we're just gonna pour in our stock into the pan. So this is the tomato puree, the beef stock cube, and also the Marmite too. And we'll just let that cook off. I don't know how long the recipe says to cook off. It says for 5 minutes to cook it off. Oh god, I've just spilled some of the stock. And then it will thicken over the next 5 minutes or so. We're just going to season it with some pepper as well. I just want to also show, Bradley has just grated some cheese, and he is also about to mash the potatoes. That's Bradley's talent that I can not do. It's probably one of the cooking things that I find the most difficult, is mashing the potatoes. So I'm going to keep going with the mince, and Bradley's going to mash those. So Bradley's just adding a large amount of butter and a splash of milk, and it's about to start the mashing process. So this is our beef mixture. As you can see, it's still quite saucy, but you want kind of like it to be like gravy. Anyway, we're going to dump this into here, if you would like to do the honours. Yeah, gonna pop that in there, and then pop the mash on top, and then pop the cheese on top as well. Normally we just like dump the mash on top, and then we will spread it out with a spoon. Just to show, this is our finished cottage pie. We have done way more cheese than we were supposed to. I think it's 40 grams of cheddar. Yes, it is, and this is definitely more than 40 grams. Blame Bradley for that.
He doesn't like cheese.
Yeah, exactly. Always like a bit more cheese. Add that little bit on there. Going to pop it in the oven for, how long is it going for 15 to 20 minutes, and then we're just going to boil the broccoli in the meantime. But everyone knows how to boil some broccoli, so I'm not going to show you that. So here is our cottage pie, which is bubbling away at the sides. It looks so good. Very saucy, very excited. Bradley's just serving up with the broccoli as well. Yeah, very excited for a nice yummy dinner. It's actually 7:20, which I feel like it's taken quite a long time to make this, longer than it normally does, probably because I've been filming it at the same time. Hello, so it's now Monday night, and we are making beef enchiladas for dinner. So normally if we were making enchiladas or anything, we would use normally like one of these kits from the supermarket. They're normally quite good value. Also Bradley's dad works for Santa Maria, the Mexican food brand, so we normally like buy their stuff, etc. However, we actually had this kit from Morrison's, and we thought it was an enchilada kit. We've realised it's actually a burrito kit, and because in our heads we really want enchiladas, we're going to make our own enchiladas instead, which I feel like makes for a better video anyway, rather than me literally just using a kit from the supermarket. So I'm going to be making my own enchilada sauce. Then we've got some beef mince. We've just got half of the beef mince that we didn't use yesterday, and then I have an onion, etc. So I'm going to show you the ingredients in a second that we will be using. But yeah, have a beef enchiladas for this. That should be so yum. I'm very excited for it actually. So this is everything you need for the enchilada sauce. On the recipe it says, so you need vegetable oil, I've got that, and then need cornstarch, corn flour, cornstarch, it's the same thing. Chili powder. I don't actually have any chili powder, which I really thought we had. I've got chopped up red chilies, and I've also got like, this is the lazy stuff that you keep in the fridge. I've also got dried chili flakes, etc. So I'm just gonna use a combination of that, but I'm gonna use some of this. Then I have got some garlic powder, got some salt, then some ground cumin, and then some, it says Mexican oregano. I'm just using normal oregano, obviously don't have any Mexican oregano. Vegetable broth, which is just a vegetable stock cube, and I'll link the recipes down below that I'm using. For this recipe you can move the little slider, I'll try and show you on my phone, but it basically said there was 6 servings, so I've just changed it to 2. So you just changed all the measurements from being 6 servings to 2 servings, which is quite good. So anyway, and then I'm also chucking in, I've read another recipe which recommends popping some cinnamon in, so we're going to pop that in, and also some tomato puree to make it more tomatoey. So that's what I'm putting in the sauce. So I've got half of the beef mince and an onion for the filling. It does also recommend putting some green chilies in. Haven't got any of them, so I'm not going to do that. And then these are the wraps that we are using. I've had these open, we've been using these for other things in the week. This is going to go back in the cupboard for when we actually want to use it. So I've just got my oil in the pan. I'm not going to say how much I'm putting in of everything because it depends on how many people you're cooking for, and you can literally just do it on the recipe. So this is 1/3 of a tablespoon, which I think is a bit hard to estimate. I'm gonna go for about that much. Tablespoon of chili powder. I feel like I'm not gonna put that much in. Of this chili, I'm gonna put like a teaspoon in. As you can see, I'm literally just chucking in a bit of each of the spices, because it doesn't really say an exact amount. So I'm just frying off all of the spices together. I feel like the chili isn't working all that well. Now I'm just going to pour in my vegetable stock. Give that a good stir around. It smells quite Mexican-y, so it's fine. I'm also just going to chuck a little bit of tomato puree in there as well. I have never in my life made my own enchiladas, so we'll see how this comes out. This should thicken after about 2 to 3 minutes, I think. So I'm gonna leave that on for about 2 to 3 minutes, and hopefully, obviously it's got the cornstarch in it, so it'll thicken, give it a bit of a taste, and we'll see whether it needs anything else adding to it. Just a quick update, the sauce has now thickened quite well. I've just got it on a really low heat now. And I have just chopped up a small onion, and then I'm just going to chuck in the beef mince into the onions now. I'm just going to season the mince and onions with salt and pepper. I like to make sure that I break up the beef as well for it to be really small. And not have it in big chunks. I know that might sound self-explanatory, but I'm trying to cater for all levels of cooking. But yeah, you break it up the smallest possible. I feel like it cooks nicer. Okay, I'm very blue. I don't really know what's going on. I feel like it's because the sun's going down. Bit of an update. The sauce, it don't seem to have enough sauce with the measurements. So I've just chucked in, it's quite spicy, so I've just chucked in some more boiling water and a bit more tomato ketchup, and that's just now bubbling away to thicken. So cook the mince, and what I'm going to do is use this bean salsa sauce from the burrito kit that they mix in with the mince in the burrito kit. So I'm going to use this in the mince, like half of it, because that's for 500 grams of mince, and then use the sauce that I've made in this recipe to put over the top of the enchiladas and at the bottom of the baking dish. So what I would recommend, obviously, if you are gonna make this recipe, just make more of the sauce than it recommends, because then you can put some of the sauce into the mince to obviously flavour the mince, and then use the rest of the sauce to go over the top of the wrap. Because the only issue is because I haven't made enough, it's quite difficult now for me to go back to the start. So that's why I'm going to use some of this bean salsa mix. So just put a bit of the enchilada sauce on the bottom of here, and then we've got the wraps. Obviously just put the mince mixture inside, rolled them up, put some more sauce on top, and then just put the cheese on top. It goes in the oven for 20 to 25 minutes. So yeah, I will show you when it comes out, let you know how it is afterwards. The sauce tastes nice, so hopefully it will be good, and it looks like the right consistency once it's in here. I would definitely recommend making like double, maybe even triple the amount of sauce if you're going to make this, because it definitely isn't enough sauce to have it like inside the wraps, on top and on the bottom. So yeah, I would definitely recommend doing that. But anyway, this is going to go in the oven now. This is our enchiladas just come out of the oven, nice and cheesy, so we will let you know how they taste, but they look pretty good. Hello, so it's now Tuesday evening. I'm just going to be showing you what we're making for dinner tonight. We are having a salmon and pea risotto. So I currently have got 2 frozen salmon fillets. I never really use frozen, never really use like frozen meat or fish really all that much. However, I have today. We brought some when we couldn't get any food a few weeks ago. We stocked up on a few freezer bits and bobs. We should not stockpile, we just bought a few more things. But yeah, so we bought a pack of 4 salmon fillets that were frozen. They're actually really good. You can cook them from frozen. The only thing I normally hate about frozen stuff is that you have to defrost it, and I always just hate it, and like I always forget to defrost it, and I have to defrost it in the microwave, and then like half cooks while it's defrosting, and it's always such a faff. However, you can cook these from frozen. These are from Morrison's. So I'm literally just gonna wrap these up in foil. I'm gonna wrap the foil around them and pop them in the oven for 20 to 25 minutes, and then I can get on with the rest of the risotto, and I can add in the salmon like towards the end. So yeah, perfect. So I actually didn't like tear off enough foil to do put them in one, so they're into individual little parcels, and I'm just gonna pop these into the oven. So my little ingredients look a little bit lonely for this recipe, but what you will need is risotto rice. I am using this one, pretty sure this might be from Aldi. I haven't actually got that much left, but that'll be enough for today. 1 onion, this is for 2 people. Vegetable stock, that is a stock cube. Some parmesan. This is like fake parmesan from Morrison's, but literally it's fine. Some butter, just got the end of some butter in there. We also need some oil, salt, pepper, and obviously some peas as well, but the peas are frozen. I actually use frozen onions the majority of the time. We don't very often use like an onion that you actually cut up. I know that they're cheap and whatever, but frozen onions are normally so easy, especially when we're at work and coming home kind of for like 7 o'clock and then cooking dinner. In this isolation period, these onions are absolutely fine. So we have just got these at the moment. We also couldn't get any frozen ones because the frozen stuff was all out when we bought these onions. Sorry, I completely forgot to film the last step. So I diced the onion and literally just fried it in some oil until it was soft. You don't want it to brown. And then I have weighed out 160 grams of the risotto rice, and I've just put it in the pan just by itself. It just needs to kind of like soak up the oil in the pan. So kind of do this for about 2 minutes. It's not on a super high heat. And then over here, Bradley is just doing, Bradley's just doing the stock. So we've got 600 ml of stock in here. We've actually ended up using 2 stock cubes, because 1 stock cube, these are the Tesco ones. I think these are Tesco.
Yeah, Tesco,
yeah, these are the Tesco ones. They only do 450 ml of stock per 1 cube. So we've used 2 cubes just so it is a bit more flavourful. So just pour a little bit of stock into there. A bit more than that. So what you want to do is basically put a little bit of stock in at a time and wait for the rice to soak it up. So you can probably put more than that. Maybe like, kind of want to do like 3/3. Is that a third of the stock?
Not quite.
You want to do a third really. Is that a third?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so we've got a third of the stock in here at the moment. We're just stirring it round You kind of need to continually stir. You can leave it for like a couple of minutes, but you just don't want it to stick. So I'm basically just going to continue to stir this, and you just wait for the rice to soak up some of the stock, and then you will add more in. I'm going to turn the heat down slightly, and then basically just keep adding the stock, and then the risotto cooks in that. So as you can see, we've added some more stock now. We've added probably like 2/3 of the stock, and it's just kind of in there soaking it up. It should take about 20 minutes from start to finish for it to soak it all up. Once the rice looks like this, so it's soaked up a lot of the liquid, I'm going to add the last third in. I'm sure people do it a different way, but I always do it in thirds. Some people add a tiny bit at a time, etc. So yeah, I'm just going to continue to stir this. The salmon will be ready in about 5 minutes out of the oven. You can do it either way. Like if you've got fresh salmon, you could poach it in some vegetable stock on like in a pan, so then you could get the flavour from the vegetable stock, or you can just pop it in the oven like I have. You can fry the salmon. The only thing I would say is you want it quite soft for it to be in a risotto. You don't want it like super crispy, so putting it in the oven in foil like I have is quite a good idea, because then you like make sure it's not going to be super crispy. Also, I just want to say risotto is quite a good recipe for this current time in self-isolation, because if you can literally chuck anything in, as long as you've got like onions and some risotto rice. I think you can even do it with like basmati rice, to be honest. Just risotto rice works better, but I think you can just use like plain rice. Oh my god, my shoulder just closed. But yeah, like if you've got any kind of veg, you can chuck that in. Any meat or fish, you could chuck that in. You could literally just do like a full veg one. So like anything you've got really, you can chuck into a risotto, so it's quite a good recipe. I was just talking and the camera cut me off, but it's quite a good recipe to have and know in this current time, because as I say, you can literally chuck anything in and add anything in. Also, if you've got like some celery, you can use that as the base of the risotto along with the onions as well. So there's so many things you can add in, but it's just so good knowing how to cook a risotto, because yeah, it's a really adaptable recipe. So the salmon has cooked, and Bradley is now just cutting it up into just like little flakes, and then we'll add this to the risotto shortly, and also add the peas, the parmesan and the butter and salt and pepper as well. As you can see, it's getting really nice and thick now, so probably another few minutes. We don't want it to dry out, but we also don't want it like too wet. Also I'm dropping stuff. I feel like I've dropped everything in every single recipe on this one. So you're just adding peas, we're just doing it by our eye, just for how many peas we want. These are just normal frozen peas, probably a few more. Oh god, the peas dropping all over the place. That's, oh god, too many peas.
That'll be all right.
Oh god, right, okay. Currently a pea risotto rather than salmon and pea. Just going to add in the salmon chunks now. If you're trying to save money, you could always just use one salmon fillet rather than two to make it go a little bit further. Now I'm just going to add both salt and pepper, and we're also going to be adding, we don't need all of that.
No, we won't put it all in.
We're also adding parmesan. I would say about 30 grams of parmesan, probably, like, well, maybe 35, but Bradley actually did 55 grams, so we haven't put all of it in, because otherwise it'll be super cheesy. And then we're just going to add a little knob of butter in as well, just because that makes it taste super nice. Obviously, if you're trying to be really healthy, you could leave out the parmesan or slash the butter.
I'm the butter.
So just got a knob of butter in there. That will just melt, make it taste really yum, and then we are ready. This is our salmon and pea risotto, ready to eat. Very excited to dive into this. Finished dinner. It was really nice. Also, we never said last night about the enchiladas. Enchiladas were great.
We did. We gave a 10 out of 10. Oh no, that was for the cottage pie.
No, that was for the cinnamon buns. So many food videos.
Oh.
But for the enchiladas, it was great. I think I said I would triple the amount of sauce. But yeah, really enjoyed them. They were quite spicy, but I really thoroughly enjoyed them. Did you enjoy them?
I did, but tonight's dinner was better.
Tonight's dinner was better. Bradley has given me rave reviews on the risotto. I said it's the best one I've ever done. So, you know, if you want that kind of review, you need to follow this recipe.
We recommend using 2 stock cubes, and the butter was a game changer.
The butter was a game changer. We do always put butter in risotto, so I'm not too sure as to why it made such a difference this time, but it was very, very nice.
I think because I knew the butter was in there, I could taste it.
You could taste it more. So it's just for my future here. I never actually ended this food video, so I thought I would just quickly end it because I want to get it up for you this evening. But I just want to say thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed it. I love filming these food videos, so if you did enjoy it, please give it a big thumbs up. Let me know if there's any recipes that you've been making like in lockdown that you've been really enjoying. Give us some ideas. If you want to see more of these videos, do let me know. Or if you want to see more of like what I eat in a day or what we eat in a day, like, you know, breakfast, lunch, dinner and snacks rather than just dinner recipes, then let me know. But I love making food videos. I really love like baking, cooking, etc. So especially in lockdown when I've got loads of time to do it. Please subscribe if you haven't before. The button is just down below. I would really appreciate it. I'm really trying with videos in lockdown currently because I've got so much time. So yeah, please subscribe if you haven't before. There'll be lots of videos coming your way. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will speak to you next time. Bye.